Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, this channel is all about cast iron cookware. So this is a bit different for me, but I figured I could show you guys the tools that I like using for my sourdough baking. Now, I dove back in 2021, 22 into sourdough baking, when the whole pandemic was going on. And I dove into that and I picked up a lot of tools, I picked up a lot of recipes, and I figured I would showcase the items that I like using for my sourdough baking. All right, guys, so the first piece that I'm going to be showcasing is a cast iron piece. Why? Because this channel is all about cast iron, and I love cast iron cookware. So you guys follow me, you guys know that. I have, a huge collection, but with that being said, one of my favorite items to use for baking is going to be a lodge piece. And this is a combo cooker. So you can go this route, use a lodge combo cooker. It is a two-piece that pretty much has a deep fryer and a skillet as a cover. And what you typically do is you remove the top portion. You place your bread here, and then you grab the deeper end, and then you place it on top. And what it provides is easy access to loading and unloading the dough while you're getting it ready to place it in the oven. So this is one of the better options in my opinion, and the reason being is as I said, loading and unloading can be a bit difficult with a deeper pot, or if you're using a enamel Dutch oven. I mean, it is possible. I see a lot of people baking with Dutch ovens, and it's great, but in my opinion, this is going to save you from getting burnt, and it's not very expensive. This one goes for about $49.99 or $59.99, depending on where you buy it. So look for deals. Amazon has great deals. Now, with that being said, there are other specialty, pans like Challenger Breadware, and that really does tailor for the baker. But for that you will have to pay about $299 plus tax, and so it's pretty expensive, and it can get expensive. So if you're just getting into bread baking and you're not sure, I would just stick with the Lodge combo cooker. All right, guys, now the other piece that I like using, and this is optional, you don't have to go this route. As I mentioned, these are things that I like and I've seen good success while baking typically any kind of bread, is this little trivet here, also made by Lodge, and these fit the Lodge cast iron Dutch ovens and many other Dutch ovens really well. And what you do is you place your bread or your dough on this, and what this will do will prevent it from getting scorched or burnt on the underside. These are fairly inexpensive. Also, you can get them on the Lodge website, or you can go to Amazon, just depends on where you go. You can find them at a very decent price. Quick little side note as well, if you don't want to use that little cast iron trivet, you can always go with a sheet pan that has a cooling rack, and just place your Dutch oven or your baking vessel in there, and it'll do a great job. You won't get any kind of scorching. All right, the next item that I want to showcase is actually, I'm already wearing it. This is a Hedley and Bennett apron. Now, obviously, you can go with whatever brand that you like. Make sure that you have one that's going to prevent any kind of accident. So I like these a lot. Not only that, but you have pockets, and you can place a thermometer, tools, whatever you need right away, especially if it has pockets. So that's one of them. The other thing that you will need is a pair of oven mitts. These are also Hedley and Bennett, and just make sure that they can withstand high temperatures. And I like these a lot, so they work great. Hedley and Bennett is a great company, and not sponsored or endorsed, but these are great, and they will protect your hands. All right, guys, and the next one is a baking mat. Now, you can also use parchment paper. That's totally fine, but I have been using these, the bread mat. These are great, especially you can reuse them. You don't have to toss these away. You can reuse your parchment paper, but after several uses, obviously it gets burnt, so you are eventually going to have to throw that away. They will last a long time. All you got to do is just rinse it. That's pretty much it. And if there's no mess, there's no flour on these, you don't even have to do anything. Just place them back, store them away, and they'll be ready to use for the next sourdough or the next bread baking that you do. All right, the next item is a mixing bowl. And I like using the clay bowls. I also like using glass. And I typically stay away from the stainless steel just because they're very conductive. So if you have a kitchen that is very warm, your dough might bulk ferment a lot quicker. So you kind of have to be keeping an eye on it during bulk fermentation. Also, if you have a very cold kitchen, that's gonna slow down the bulk ferment. So in my opinion, I find the non-conductive bowls to be easier and better to use. The next one is going to be a Danish whisk or a dough whisk. And these are very popular amongst the people that make, artisanal bread or sourdough bread. And the reason why I like these so much is because if you guys use a piano whisk, these sometimes tend to get all clumped up, so all your dough will get stuck in there, and it's harder to clean, and you lose some of your dough. It's just a mess. And with this, honestly, nothing really sticks to it, and all you got to do is just kind of, wipe the dough away, and it'll work great. And it mixes your dough really well to the point that it's almost kneading the dough. So this one, very inexpensive. I think my sister got this on Amazon. I want to say about $10. Depends on the brand. All right, so there are many scales, and you can actually go to Walmart. This one here has been my favorite. Easy to use, very easy to clean. This thing is removable, fairly inexpensive. I want to say it was about $20 at Walmart. But this one's really suited for very small portions. So if you need to weigh your salt or anything that you're going to be using, this is going to work great. So I do recommend these. There are other options that you can use, but these aren't very precise, like this one here. Also from Taylor. Got this from Walmart, but I was always getting measurements wrong, and this one does measure in grams. This one isn't very precise as the smaller one, so I recommend that you make sure that it will read precise measurements. All right, the next tool that I like using is a banneton basket. These are the ones that I like using. They're, woven. This one comes with a lid, and you do want to ensure that you cover it. Do not let your dough bulk ferment in the refrigerator or cold ferment in the refrigerator without being covered. So this one for me works great. I've used it many times, and it's done really well. So the other thing that I do like is that it does come with a liner, and these are washable. So makes everything so much easier. Now, if you don't want to use those or you don't have any of these, you can also use a bowl, say the mixing bowl that you used. Just place a linen and or a dishcloth and flour it really well. Place your dough in there and you place that in the refrigerator and it'll work just as well. But as I mentioned, these banneton baskets, they work really well for the cold ferment. All right, the next one is a spray bottle. And the reason why I like these is you do want to introduce a bit of moisture when you place your dough into the really hot Dutch oven. So I tend to spray my dough, cover it up really quick, and what it does, it creates steam inside the Dutch oven or your baking vessel, and it provides better or a more pronounced oven spring and a very beautiful ear on your bread. All right, the next one is going to be one of my favorites, and it's a scoring blade or a lame. These are great. I mean, this one just came with the first kit that I bought for the banneton baskets, and fairly inexpensive. It came in with the kit. I mean, you can purchase these, I think, for about $5 to $10 on Amazon. I mean, you can go. There's different styles. You can go with something fancier. Obviously, I went crazy when I saw these, so I bought myself one of these. Or you can even go this route, a plastic one. And these are magnetic, but they also, they come out pretty cool. There's many options, but I do recommend grabbing these. They will make your bread scoring a lot easier. You're not going to get those tears, and it's not going to snag on the dough. So those are the tools that I like using. This is the loaf here. I do like using all kinds of proofing baskets. I like these a lot. So you can see the name of this one, Flower Side. But anyway, let's do the process. All right. This is how I like to load it onto the bread mat. Pray that it comes out, because I don't think this one is going to be as easy as I figured. Come on. All right, there we are. Now what I do recommend is that you brush some of this off here. That's probably one of the other things I should have talked about is a brush. I got this one here from King Arthur. These little dough brushes come in handy. You don't want to have too much flour. I mean, if you like it, great, but I like dusting this off. Once you take some of that flour off, you're ready to score, and you can score whatever way you want. Make it your own. So we're just going to do one even score here. There we are, and then possibly just some slits here. There we are. I think that's good enough there. All right, now let's grab the Dutch oven or the combo cooker from the oven. Don't forget your oven mitts. Very important. You don't want to burn yourself. And I preheated the oven along with the combo cooker to 450. Okay, and here we go. Actually, no, here we don't go. I almost forgot. I like using this here. Now, be very careful because this is very hot. But there we go. And here we go with the loaf once again. All right, perfect. Actually, I'm forgetting steps here, guys. Forgive me. What we're gonna do is spray and cover. And you can spray more. It just depends on what you like. Okay, and we're gonna let it bake covered for 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your recipe. Alrighty, 25 minutes have elapsed, so we are ready to see what this loaf looked like. Ooh, beautiful. Looking good. Really quickly so you guys can somewhat see it. I think it's looking great. So we're gonna leave it back in there. I did drop the temperature to 400, and we're just gonna let it sit there for another 15 minutes.